Hey, what's going on everyone? I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that all of you are having a great day, and thank you for joining me for your daily dose of Star Wars. The Last Jedi, as I have said many times before, has pulled the story of the sequel trilogy into multiple directions, and one of the ways that Ryan did this was with the character of Rey. Since The Force Awakens came out, we spent 2 years trying to decipher all of the clues and context of The Force Awakens in relation to Rey and her origins, who she was related to, how we knew it, and what it meant for the future of the story. And the current winner of that argument was not me, as I was for Rey Skywalker, but it was for the Rey is no one camp. For now, and of course Ryan has teased, whether you want to believe it or not, that Kylo might not have been right about Rey's origin, but only JJ knows for sure. Ryan also said that when he told Rey her parents were no one, that Kylo truly believed that, but it didn't necessarily mean he was right. When Rey goes into the cave for her vision, Kylo hasn't seen this yet, or told her this yet, but Rey goes into the cave because, as Luke told her, it offered something she needed, and Rey believes that the cave is trying to show her who her parents are. When Rey goes into the cave, she walks up to this ice that is reflective, that is showing the reflections of who her parents are when she presses her hand against it and sees through it, and this is where her vision is. And when she gets up to the glass, it turns into one person instead of two, and it turns out that it looks an awful lot like Kylo Ren. I first became aware of this on Twitter, and I thought the idea was very interesting, so I went to view the scene for myself a few times, and I can understand why they think this looks like Kylo Ren. So what I did was I went and did some mock-ups. I made some PNGs of Kylo Ren, and I compared it to the outline of the character in this vision. So let's take a look at what I came up with. So for this image, what I've done is I've taken a screenshot of the film, and I've taken a PNG that I created of Kylo Ren, and what I'm going to do is I have this PNG, what I've done is I've taken it, I've turned it into just the outline of himself, and I've changed the blending mode so that it's not just standing there, and I'm going to fade it in, and then I want you to take a look at the outline of this figure, and I'm going to show you that it matches up with what Kylo Ren looks like when he's in his mask, okay? This is the first part. He's going to look like what he does in his mask. So check it out. Here we go. We're at 0 right now. We're at 10%. Here is 25%. Now we're all the way up to 50%, and I think at this point it's pretty clear that now we're at 75. And now we are at that 100. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it back down, and we're going to take a look again as it would fade out, just to see the outline if it's still there on the same way out. See what you think of this. 50, 25, and I'll go a little slower towards the end, see if you can see the blending. And now I'll bring it back up just a little bit, just to bring it back and forth a bit. Notice how it matches the outline of this figure perfectly. Alright, and now let's take a look at this next image. This next image is literally just a few seconds later, and what I've done is the same thing. I've taken an image of this time Kylo Ren without his mask, because I believe that as it comes closer, it looks like the outline of this figure is showing more of what Ben Solo's or Kylo without his mask's hairline would look like. So I've taken a photo from this. It's another PNG that I created. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but you got to pay a little more closer attention because the hairline in this one is a little harder to see. So after I show it once, we'll change the blending option and you'll see it a little closer. So here we go. It's at 0 right now. You'll notice it pretty quickly. We're at 25% right now. Again, it's still hard to see the hairline. You're only seeing the face. Here we are. We're now at 50. And we're going to go all the way up to 100 just like last time. This is 75 right here, and now we are at 100. So as you can see, this does it fits the outline of this figure again. This does look like Ben Solo. It's really hard to tell, especially on the left side past his eye, because the hairline matches up really well, and it just kind of blends in really well with this. So I'll go back down, we'll change the blending mode so you can see the outline at a little more definitive look. So here we go. Now we're at 100. We're going to go back down. We are now back down to 75. We are now back down to 50 right here. We're going to go down to 25 again, which is this one right here. And now we're going to take it all the way back down to 0. And again, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the blending, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last image, where I'm just going to kind of teeter and totter back and forth. So here we go. A little back and forth. And now what I'll do is I'll change the blending mode so that way you can see it. We'll start it back at 0 again, but this time I will have it a little blended in a little better. And here we go. This time we're going to do the same thing. Here we go, bringing it back in. As you can see, it's a little easier to tell where the hairline ends on Kylo this time. Matches up well with this figure, especially on the left side. If you look to that area that I told you to look to before where it looks a little faded, it's much clearer now. This is a little better of a blend. Taking it back out. Bringing it back in again, teeter-totter back and forth. Notice, especially up at the top where the hairline would be, that it really does blend in extraordinarily well there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it back to that. This is just normal overlay. This is no effect on the blending, just to help you see where the lines are. This is just the one. So the lines on the figure will go away pretty quickly and it'll just become this is in its place. We're at 100. We're just going to go really quickly back out. So as you can see, back and forth a bit. The hairline, pay attention to the hairline here. Pay attention to the bottom. Here we go. Ben Solo standing there without the mask just seconds later after it looks like we saw Kylo Ren with his helmet on. And that was masked back and forth. So as you can see that, Ben Solo, this is where this cave came. I saw the image of it, just the outline, and I decided to take it a little farther and show you guys this. This does appear to be Ben Solo to me, and as a result of this, even if this wasn't Ryan's intention, it just happens to be a coincidence, which I don't think it was because I watched the director in the Jedi film that came on the bonus of the digital, and what that showed was Kathleen Kennedy telling the audience and the viewers that every decision that Ryan made was personal, and this would fall into that category. What did this outline look like? So here we go, we have that, and now we're going to go talk. I'm going to tell you why I think this makes sense and why this was a decision that Ryan made consciously. Before I go on, whether or not Ryan made a conscious decision to make this look like Ben Solo and Kylo Ren, I think my reasoning is strong either way. The cave on Ahch-To is strong with the dark side of the Force, and Rey was drawn down there to get the answer for her parents. And once she was down there and she had her hand on the ice, she was hoping to see her parents. And I think that the reason that the reflection wasn't her parents and from two people to one, and the reason that that one person looked like Kylo, is because it's foreshadowing that she isn't going to get the answer down in the cave, but rather she's going to get it somewhere else. And that someone else is Kylo Ren. And perhaps this was also foreshadowing Kylo's character in a sense as well. The first image I showed you was of Kylo Ren with his mask, and this perhaps symbolized the character from The Force Awakens that Rey thought she knew. And seconds later, we now have a more developed relationship between Kylo Ren and Rey throughout that film, and with the Force blending their paths together with the Force talks that they've had. And the film now understands that there's more to him, rather than him just being a creature in the mask. Rey doesn't think of him as just a monster anymore. While she understands that he is a monster, she knows that there's more to him, and there's more behind him. And so she's seen him without this mask, foreshadowing his future in a sense through this vision as well. And is also foreshadowing Rey's future in the sense that she is going to get an answer to her question from him when she confronts him, several scenes later in the film. The idea that Rey knows that Kylo Ren isn't a monster grows stronger as she tries to persuade Luke to come rejoin the Resistance, and that if Luke won't, that the only way the Resistance might have a chance to win is if Rey can turn Kylo back to Ben Solo and bring him back to the light to shift the tide. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is Kylo Ren, or do you think it's a sheer coincidence? Either way, I think I like my reasoning enough to go with that, whether it was Ryan's intention or not to have it look like Kylo and Ben Solo. But of course, let me know what you guys think with a comment down below. That wraps things up for me here in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. If you guys want to become a daily coffee drinker, hit that bell down there to receive a notification on your iOS or Android device, or even your browser, and get a notification the second a new video goes live. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you can do that as well at SW Coffee YouTube on Twitter, which I use the most, Facebook, and Instagram. If you guys want to check out some more videos that I have another channel called YT Jitters that I run with one of my friends. It's about the DCEU, which is my topic, and the Marvel MCU, which is his topic. So if you guys are into superheroes and not just Star Wars, you should go check that out. Give us a subscribe if you enjoy the channel. But thank you guys for watching. As always, keep loving Star Wars, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.